G'day kids, thanks for tuning in to another Aussie episode. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos we put out, and it would certainly make my day. In the meantime, enjoy this video.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day.
You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. By me gun, you're not, you're a lie. Nyempa, you and worry, worry. You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. By me gun, you're not, you're a lie. Nyempa, you and worry, worry. You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. By me gun, you're not, you're a lie. Nyempa, you and worry, worry. You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. You're a lie, you're a lie, you're a lie. By me gun, you're not, you're a lie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we've got a really exciting and a very important episode because we're going to learn all about Aboriginal culture. And to talk us through the culture and the connection to country, I'm joined by Ozzie, a Gamilaroi boy from Dinawan's Connections. Ozzie, thanks for having us here today.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Ozzie, if we're going to teach Ozzie and the kids all about Aboriginal culture, where do we start?
Well, I think we start by an acknowledgement first.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Well, it's about giving respect, and it's giving respect to the land that we're on, okay? And it's giving respect to those Aboriginal people and those senior people, those elders that have gone before us.
Fantastic. And can you take us through the process?
So we start off by acknowledging country, okay? There's 250 language groups within Australia, okay? And so today we're on Wadi country. So we'll start off by acknowledging Wadi country. We pay respect to the land and we pay respects to the elders, both past, present and future.
Fantastic. So that's our acknowledgement to country.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great way to start. So what's the next step? What's a really important thing that you can teach Ozzie and the kids?
Yeah, well, something that's really, really powerful and that has been done for thousands and thousands of years is going through a smoking ceremony.
Great. And what's a smoking ceremony look like and what's involved? Because I'd really love you to show Ozzie and the kids at home.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful ceremony to go through, okay? And what it does is when you're coming onto country, okay, we want to get rid of all that bad energy, okay? Because we want to bring positive and positive energy with us, okay? So we start off by lighting a fire, okay? We collect leaves, okay, from trees,
Okay.
and we make sure we do it respectfully,
Great.
okay? And then what we do is we burn those leaves. It creates smoke, and that smoke then cleanses us. So it's a cleansing ceremony. It's a cleansing process.
Great. So before we get our smoking ceremony happening, you've got some friends that join us. Who we got here today, Ozzie?
Yeah, Ozzie, we've got Winchy. Winchy's a Wiradjuri man. We've got Maney and his father Chooch, and they're both South Coast Yuin people.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming along, guys. And now before we get this happening, I believe we're going to get some body paint on.
Yep, yeah, we're gonna paint up. Okay, we're gonna put some ochre on, traditional ochre.
Great.
Paint up, and we'll have a smoking ceremony.
All right, let's get stuck in, fellas. Okay, so the guys are getting ready here. They've got their white ochre and they're painting up their bodies, and that's part of the culture and the traditions. Ozzie, what is the significance of the white ochre?
Yeah, so we get ochre from Mother Earth, and Mother Earth provides us with absolutely everything that we need, okay? When we have put our ochre on, that's us connecting back to Mother, okay? So we wear this when we do ceremony, when we do dance, so it's really something that really powerful, okay? Something that we can just give back to Mother.
So it's all about that connection
Yeah.
to Earth.
Yeah, it is. Would you like to put some on, Ozzie?
Oh, I'd absolutely love some. Yeah, please.
Hands out. Look at that. Beautiful. And nice one.
All right, so the guys have actually got all these different coloured jars of powder, which I believe is a different coloured ochre. Is that right, Ozzie?
That's right, that's right. So when we find ochre, it comes from Mother, because Mother gives us everything, right? But it comes in the form of solids, Okay, so this is a big piece of white ochre here. Okay, it's very chalky.
Yep.
So what we do is we break that up. So we get our rocks and we grind it up into a nice smooth powder that you can see here.
Just like this,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then when we're ready to put it on, add a little bit of water to it, make it nice consistency, and we put it on, and that's our ochre.
Fantastic. All right, so we've got our white ochre on today.
Yep.
And I think the boys are ready. I think we should get stuck into the smoking ceremony. Is that right?
Let's have a smoking ceremony.
Let's go. So we're over here, and this is where we're going to start the fire and have a smoking ceremony. Undi, what have you got there, and what are you using to start the fire?
Yeah, cool. So we've got 2 grass trees. Okay, so these are found all over the south coast here. Okay, and you'll see the grass tree when they grow a spear. Okay, almost like a big spear plant like that.
Okay, yep.
Okay, and when that dies off and dries out, boom, we break that off, and that's our fire stick. That's the drill. That's the other end of it. Make a little hole there like that. Put that in there, and we start to spin. That'll create friction.
Yep.
Okay, so it'll get really, really hot in there. Okay, and then you'll start to find ambers, and those ambers will fall in to this bark.
Wow.
Okay, so this is just bark off a tree. It's really grinded up like that. Okay, ambers will fall in there and it'll start to smoke, and then that's where we'll get fire.
And so that's the traditional way of starting a fire.
That's the traditional way. So Ozzie, this is going to take a little bit of hard work. Okay, so what we're going to do is have a couple of spins, and we're going to go around the circle so we don't get puffed out.
Okay.
Because it's a hard job.
Yep.
Okay, but we'll go round and we'll get fire.
Sounds
Okay?
good.
How was he?
Ozzie.
Go. How was he?
You can actually see it starting to smoke there. Is that right?
Yeah. Can you smell it?
Yeah. Jump. Ready? Go, go, go.
Righto, Ozzie. Oh, there you go, Ozzie.
Getting close, kids. You can actually see it starting to smoke there. So I think we're close to getting that ember.
There you go, Ozzie. And that's
Look at
fire.
Beautiful.
Then we just keep putting little bits of stick on top and so that it'll catch,
Okay.
and that's fire.
Brilliant.
Pretty cool, eh?
It's fantastic. I can't believe we started a fire with 2 pieces of wood. Pretty clever. So Undi, we're starting to add some more sticks, and that fire is going to get bigger and bigger. And then what do we do with all that smoke, and what's next?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll get it a little bit bigger, okay, by keep adding sticks onto it,
Yeah.
and we'll wait till it gets nice and really hot, okay, and then we've got some gum leaves that we're going to put on top, and those gum leaves, they won't burn, but they'll create a nice big smoke,
Okay.
and that's how we smoke ourselves.
Very good. All right,
Excellent.
let's keep going then.
Cool.
Okay, Undi, looks like this fire's going pretty well. How big does it need to be until we can start putting those gum leaves on?
Yeah, we want it a little bit bigger, okay? We want the coals to be nice and hot down the bottom, okay? So that when we do put the gum leaves on, it doesn't just put it out.
Fantastic. All right, so we keep building this thing up.
Yes.
All right, let's keep adding some wood then. Undi, it looks like this fire is getting pretty hot now.
Yep.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go, mate. So what we've done, we've collected some gum leaves here, okay? We've just respectfully picked them off the trees, okay? And what we do, we'll just smother the fire like this, okay? And then as it burns, it'll create a nice smoke. And so what we're gonna do, each and every one of us are gonna go through the smoke, okay? And what that's gonna do, like I said before, it's a cleansing ceremony, okay? So it'll take all that negative energy away and make you feel good after it.
Fantastic. So let's get stuck in, Undi.
Rightio. You can see that already smoking now, Ozzie. Okay, and then we just lay that over there like that. And that'll just continue to smoke away like that.
Yep.
So what we'll do, okay, if we want to get all the kids to come through first, okay, walk through the smoke. Maney, you know how to do it, bud. You walk through the smoke, show these other kids what to do. It's like we're washing ourselves, Ozzie.
Okay.
Okay, so we wash our hair, we wash our arms, okay? We just make sure the smoke gets all over us.
Okay.
Okay? Good boy, Xavier. So Ozzie, as the smoke's going around, you can see Choochie's putting it all over his body, okay? So it's almost like you're washing yourself. You're washing away all that negative energy and the smoke's taking it away.
Yeah, wow.
Okay? So it'll be really cool, mate. Go and have a go.
Great.
Yep, so jump in. Just make sure you get it all over yourself. Bring it in.
How's that, Undi?
Yeah, that's unreal,
Doing
mate.
that right, mate?
Yeah, that's excellent. All over yourself. Hop in there, Winchy. What you've experienced now, Ozzie, is something that has been done forever.
Yep.
From the beginning of time, so way back when. Because if you think about it, Aboriginal people are the oldest living culture on this planet.
Wow. Amazing. And to this day, we're still doing things the exact same way they did hundreds of years ago.
Yep, thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
There you go. What an amazing part of the Aboriginal culture. And I feel really privileged to be part of it. So thank you very much. What an honour, what an experience. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to come along and learn all about the smoking ceremony. Guys, appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Kids, I hope you've learnt lots at home. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it inspires you to go and learn a whole lot more about the Aboriginal culture. Stay keen, we'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Ozzie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we've got a really exciting episode because we're going to learn all about Aboriginal culture and more specifically song and dance. You can see that I've got some body paint on, so I'm ready to go, and to help us learn all about it I've got my friend Undi and all these boys. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Undi?
Yeah, thanks, Ozzie. I'm Undi, I'm a Gamilaroi man, and with me I've got my Dinawan Connections brothers, and we've got Maney, who's a young South Coast Yuin boy. We've got Winchy, who's a Wiradjuri man, and Maney's father at the end, Chooch, and he's also a South Coast Yuin man.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for welcoming Ozzie and the kids along. Now, song and dance. Where do we start? What's the most important thing that you can teach Ozzie and the kids?
Yeah, so before we go, we want to acknowledge country.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Yeah, so it's giving our respect to Mother Earth that we're on.
Okay.
It's paying respects to the land that we're on. So Australia has over 250 Aboriginal language groups.
Wow.
Okay, and today we're on Wadi country. So we want to acknowledge that country, and we want to acknowledge all those old people that have gone before us, all those old people that are with us now, and all those people into the future like young brother here.
So thank you for the acknowledgement of country. So where do we start with song and dance?
Yeah, cool. So you see that we've all got ochre on, okay? So ochre comes from the ground, okay? Everything that Aboriginal people use comes from Mother Earth. Mother Earth provides us with everything, okay? So we've got ochre here.
Okay.
So that's what ochre comes from, okay? It's like a smooth rock, powdery rock.
Yep.
And what we do, we grind that up into a very fine powder. We add water to that, and that's our paint. Okay, and then that connects us back to Mother when we dance.
Fantastic. So it's all about that connection to country.
Really plays a really big part in Aboriginal culture. Aboriginal culture is all about that connection to the country and looking after the country.
Fantastic. And what are you holding there in your right hand, Undi?
Yeah, so these are boomerangs. Okay, so these are my clapping boomerangs. Again, we get these from Mother, and these are our instruments.
Okay. So that's how you make the music, by clapping those together.
Yep.
And what are these guys that I'm holding?
Yeah, they're your clap sticks.
Okay.
Again, used to make a rhythm. Keep a rhythm, clap together. There you go.
Fantastic. I'm making music.
That's right.
All right.
And we've also got the yidaki over
Okay.
here with chooch.
So what did you just call that, Undi? And chich, to me that looks like a didgeridoo. Is that the same thing?
Well, it is the same thing, but the traditional name for this one is called yidaki, which means wood spirit. And this one here comes from right up the top end, so I'd like to acknowledge those before I play this one here. We play it with respect. So yidaki is the traditional name for this one here.
Very good.
Yeah,
It's something I've learned today, kids, and I hope you have too. It's not called a didgeridoo, it's called a
yidaki.
yidaki. It's an amazing looking instrument. So how do you play one of these?
So it's just like putting your lips together, like this one. Like blowing raspberries.
Okay.
And you're blowing into this tube right here.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's that simple. You want me to show you?
I'd love you to show me,
okay,
please.
Here we go.
Wow, that is very cool. And how is one of these made?
So this was once a tree. So we got this from Mother too as well.
Okay.
So once a tree. So all them white ants would get up in the bark, in the roots of the tree, and eat out the middle of it. And eat out the middle of it, the tree wouldn't actually die. So the ants would keep that tree alive. So then what we'd do, we'd come along with our sticks, and we'd knock on the edge of the tree. If it sounds hollow, you've got yourself a yidaki. We cut that out, and we bore it out, and then shape it up, and there you go. You've got your yidaki.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, I love the sound of it. I'd love to be able to try and play it one day,
Yeah.
maybe a bit later.
Maybe we can sit down
You
together.
can teach Ozzie how it's done.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got our instruments. Undi, should we get stuck into a bit of dancing?
Yeah, mate, love to. You ready, boys?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, so we're all ready to go. The boys are in place. You've got your instruments.
Yep.
Now, what's the first one we're going to learn?
Yeah, this is a Nyampa welcome, and Nyampa is the story that we're learning. Okay, so we're going to do a Nyampa welcome, and it's just it's a song there to welcome everyone to where we are today.
Fantastic. Let's hear it.
Excellent.
Undi, and guys, thank you so much. Brilliant.
So what we're going to do now is a Wiradjuri welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so very similar to the Nyampa welcome, okay, but this is given us to our brothers from Dinawan's Connections, and it's again welcoming everyone that's around, you fellas out there, and it's a happy place.
Fantastic. All right. I'm going to sit back here and enjoy this one. Let you do your thing.
Excellent. Wiradjuri go banado walgana. Wiradjuri go maine. No rambango go ambanado. Wiradjuri go
Nora Mango go Wambanado. Nangenga Galingo Billingalingo. Wayango Galango Billingalingo. Nangangan Gale Nangan Walgana. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Woo! Where did they go, my ine? Nora Mango go Wambanado. Where did they go, my ine? Nora Mango go Wambanado. Nanganga Galingo Billingalingo. Wayango Galingo Billingalingo. Nangangan Gale Nangan Walgana. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Woo! Where did they go, my ine? Nora Mango go Wambanado. Where did they go, my ine? Nora Mango go Wambanado. Nangangan Galingo Billingalingo. Wayango Galingo Billingalingo. Nangangan Gale Nangan Walgana. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Hey chop. Hey Wagana. Woo!
Fantastic.
And that was it.
That's fantastic. Honestly, that was brilliant.
Excellent.
I feel really privileged to be up close and personal with you guys, and really, I can really feel the music and the dancing. What's the significance of some of those dance moves that the guys are doing?
Yeah, so what
one
they're,
here, I
yeah, that one there that they're doing, they're pulling in all that good energy, okay? So while they're stomping, okay, again, they're stomping on mother to connect to country and to connect to the ground, okay? And then while they're doing that, they're bringing all those good spirits in and all that good energy in.
Yeah, I love it. It's brilliant. It's all about that connection to country, isn't it?
Yeah, it plays a really big part, and you'll always see when you're talking to Aboriginal people that in a lot of the culture and the songs and the dances, it always goes back into country.
Okay, so those words that you're saying, what are you actually singing about, Undi?
Yeah, so that's in Wiradjuri language, and basically it's about putting energy back into mother, respecting mother, and keeping mother healthy.
Fantastic.
I reckon we've got another one, and this one is the Wiradjuri cleansing. Okay, so again, we're talking about Wiradjuri language, and it's about cleansing the cleansing mother. Okay, cleansing mother, keeping it healthy, and bringing all that good energy in.
Fantastic.
Payamenyande dinjadore. Balobamba nyande dinjadore. Bargir bangyande dinjadore. Gurinur panyande dinjadore. Anindo di guttu nina bagariba. Anindo gi duttu 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 nina bagariba. Nala wala win yurubang wala win mandango. Woo!
Fantastic, I love that one. So I noticed the guys in that one were holding branches and sticks and leaves. What's the significance of that one?
Yeah, again, so that's just them sweeping mother, cleansing mother, okay, and making sure that we're looking after her.
Yeah, cool. And at the end they went choo and threw them up in the air. Cause
Again, that's throwing the leaves up in the air, and that's making that connection from mother to sky.
amazing. So everything that is done, everything that is said, all the moves, all the actions, all have a purpose and a meaning.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it all has a story.
All right, well, I could sit here and watch and listen to you guys all day. Have you got some more songs you want to show us?
Yeah, we'll do one more song for you, Ozzie. And this one's called Didgeridoo, okay? And it talks about 4 really important animals, okay? We've got the Guga, which is a goanna. We've got the Dinawan, which is an emu. We've got the Bunda, which is a kangaroo. And we've got Digabilla, who's the echidna.
Fantastic. So if we watch closely, we'll be able to see the guys doing
Yeah, you will.
those animals.
Yeah, you will.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right, I'll let you do your thing.
by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Galangari, your lie, your lie, your lie. Rangulame! Wah, wah, woo! Wah, wah, woo! Wah, wah, woo!
Love it. That's
That's it,
brilliant.
right?
Yeah, really, really cool. I think two of my favourites there were the emu
Yep, dinner
and,
one.
yeah, and the kangaroo
And the bunda.
and a bunda.
Yeah, yeah. So, Ozzie, here's the thing. Would you like to be a dinner one?
Love to learn how to be a dinner one.
Come over and explain to Ozzie how you be that dinner one.
So you got to put your hand like this, Ozzie.
Yep.
And then put your hand out the back of you, like that.
Okay.
And then you walk. Walk. Be that dinner one. Be that dinner one. When your head turns, you turn that way. So that's the male dinner one.
Okay.
But we have a female dinner one too as well. Jazzy, you want to come in and show?
Yeah.
Come in, this. There you go.
So
How
how
do
does
you
the
be-
female one look?
Okay, so you've got to put your hand like that and hold onto your elbow and then put your feet so that they're walking in front of each other like that.
Okay. And so that's the female dinner one.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
So kids, the boys and girls at home, you can both try this. That's the dinner one, also known as the emu. Should we get stuck in?
Let's go.
All right.
Cool.
Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie. Nyapa, you and Waddy Waddy, your lie, your lie, your lie. Your lie, your lie, your lie, by Megan, you're not your lie.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Excellent, man. Well done.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for showing me how to do the dinner one.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, I hope I did it right.
You did it perfectly. Spot on.
Awesome. Kids, hope you were having fun at home. Hope you had a turn. So that was absolutely mesmerising. It was amazing watching the boys dance and listening to you sing and play those sticks. I was absolutely mesmerised before by the yidaki.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we can get that played again?
Yeah, for sure. It's a beautiful instrument, isn't it?
It certainly is.
So, Brother Chooch, let's come over and give Ozzie and the other kids, a bit more of the didge.
No worries. No problem at all.
All right, mate, take it away.
Yep.
Love it, Chooch. That's absolutely fantastic. Kids, I hope you enjoyed that at home. I love the sound of that instrument. Do you reckon you could teach Ozzie how to play?
Oh, of course, mate. I'll just give us a bit of a clean and we'll give you a go at it. What do you reckon?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's do it. So what I want you to do is fill your lungs full of air.
Yep.
And then blow big raspberries right into the yidaki. Make that sound. See how you go.
I've got to do it in there.
Into that, yeah.
All right, see if I can do it, kids.
Wow, Ozzie, you're awesome.
How good's that?
Well done.
Hey, just like that, a beginner, and you've taught me how to play it straight away.
There you go.
I love it. Kids, why don't you try and get yourself a yidaki at home and see if you can have a try. It's good fun. So what a fantastic experience, learning all about song and dance, getting to learn the didgeridoo and the yidaki, my two favourites for today. Undi, guys, thank you so much for having us down here. Really appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Kids, I hope you've learned lots at home. I hope you really enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then, stay keen.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day
G'day kids, Ozzie here. So today we are in for a real treat because we're going to learn all about Aboriginal artwork, one of the oldest artworks in the whole of the world. And to take us through this amazing artwork, we're joined by Billy Reynolds. G'day Billy.
How you going, Ozzie?
Mate, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank
In
you.
your studio, which is also your house.
Yep.
Mate, it's a pleasure to be here. So where did it all start for you? How long have you been painting Aboriginal artwork?
I've been painting Aboriginal artwork for about 5 years now.
Wow,
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah.
And I'm just looking around the room, some of the things I'm seeing don't seem like you've been doing it for only 5 years. You've obviously got a natural talent there.
Thank you.
So how did you actually get into it?
So me and my family actually went on a family holiday over to Uluru about 5 years ago, and going there we really connected with my Indigenous heritage and seeing all the artworks that were made there. Coming back to Sydney, I just put pen to paper and started my own artwork, and it really blew up from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you felt some kind of connection to your heritage going back
Definitely.
to such a symbolic place like Uluru,
Definitely.
and then something within you sparked and you said, you know what, I'm going to go back, learn a little bit more about this amazing artwork and start creating myself.
Yep, definitely.
That's really, really
exactly.
cool. That's awesome. So what did you do to start? Did you literally just get a piece of paper and some paint or a canvas and just start? Did you do some research? How did it happen?
So I basically taught myself. I just went up to the art store, bought a canvas, bought some paint, and then just started myself.
Wow.
And then, yeah, just happened like that.
That's really cool. So you don't happen to have the very first artwork here, do you?
Of course I do.
You do?
Yep. So this is my first artwork.
What?
Yeah.
So you went from never doing Aboriginal art to that?
Yep, straight away.
Wow.
Yeah, that
wow,
one was
wow.
a very popular one. That one's called Four Tribes. I called it that because it's separated into 4 different sections,
Right.
with a meeting circle in the middle and 2 kangaroos at the bottom and 2 rainbow serpents at the top.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible. So for someone that's never done Aboriginal art, was that challenging?
For me, it wasn't so much challenging. I just felt some sort of connection to it, and I
Right.
felt like this was me. I'm meant to do it.
Yeah.
Just really felt connected to it and felt easy for me.
That's amazing. So how did you know, how did you know what symbols to draw? How did you know what they mean? You mentioned a meeting circle. How did you know all that stuff?
So obviously through my own research,
Yeah.
going away to Uluru, and my school Indigenous program really helped.
Right.
Being AIM, they helped me a lot. My teachers, my Indigenous teacher at school, she helped me a lot to learn more about our culture and really how would you say, just submerge us into our culture.
Amazing. So Billy, you mentioned AIM. What does that stand for and what do they do?
AIM stands for Australian Indigenous Mentoring Experience.
Okay.
So they're, how would you say, like a school mentoring program for all Indigenous kids. Yeah, they really help us sort of connect to our culture, become better people, better ourselves. Yeah,
Amazing.
they're really good.
That's fantastic. Now, can I ask Billy, how old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
18?
Yeah.
So you're just out of school?
Yep.
Now, is this your full-time gig? Are you a full-time artist now?
No, not full-time. It's sort of like a hobby, part-time on the side, but my full-time job is landscaping.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you landscape during the day and you find time to sit
Yep.
and do this stuff at night and on the weekends.
Yep.
You've obviously got a natural talent, which over the years is obviously improving. I'm looking around the room and there's some incredible pieces. If I could just come over here,
Yep.
you got some jerseys here.
Yeah.
Did you actually design these jerseys that the NRL players wear
Yep.
in the games?
Yeah.
That would have been quite a rush.
Yeah, it was. It was an amazing experience to see them run out with the jerseys on. I was absolutely blown away.
That's very, very cool. So how did this come about?
So I entered a competition for that, which was held across Australia, and I got first place, and the West Tigers contacted me themselves and said, listen Billy, we want your artwork on our Indigenous jersey, and things just fell into place from there.
That's amazing. Kids, how good's that? Billy's taken up a new form of artwork. He's connected with his culture. He's entered a competition. Before you know it, he's got his artwork worn by the West Tigers in the NRL, running around on the weekends on TV. That's pretty good. I'm pretty lucky standing next to you, I'll tell you what. Now, can you talk me through some of the bits and pieces on here? I know that Aboriginal artwork is full of symbology, but maybe we can just talk about what the different pieces mean on this jersey.
Okay, so the artwork behind this was called Guing and Yinada, which means sun and moon in Dharawal language.
Okay.
So this would be the sun, this would be the moon. These are all star symbols.
Okay.
And throughout it, we have kangaroo tracks.
Oh, they're kangaroo tracks?
Yep, kangaroo tracks, and we have emu tracks going through it as well.
That's incredible. Now, you've got another jersey over here.
Yep.
You don't just stop at one jersey. Let's
No,
just
I
design two, and probably a whole lot more if you're that talented.
Yeah.
Who's this for, and what's this all about?
So that was for Waverley College. That was for their Indigenous round. They asked me to design their Indigenous jersey.
Yep.
So I did a artwork for them straight after they contacted me, and then went back to them with it a few weeks later. They loved it.
Yeah.
So they were like, let's do this, let's put it together, and then that's
See
how it
why
came
they love
about.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the symbology of this? There's some really amazing colours here, and then you've got the blue colours on this side, and then these symbols in the middle. Can you talk me through what that's all about?
So I wanted to use the Waverley colours in the background of it.
Okay.
So which is the navy blue, but this is a meeting circle.
Okay.
You'll see it in a few of my artworks. I do tend to use it a fair bit. But so meeting circle, and these are meant to represent people coming into that meeting circle, meeting together.
All right, so they're coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that because Waverley College, their playing ground is Queen's Park, and Queen's Park used to be connected to Centennial Park, which was a huge meeting place for the Indigenous people.
Right.
And after colonisation, it especially became like a lot of Aboriginal people would meet in this place. And because it's Waverley's so close to the coast, I wanted to bring in that aspect of like water meeting land.
Amazing.
So that's why I used the blue colours and the sand colours and used it in a gradient, so the colours would really pop.
They
Looks
certainly
really
do
nice.
pop. And there's a whole lot of meaning and symbology behind what you've created and what you've just explained then.
Yeah.
It's not as if you just go and start painting dots and
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything. There's a huge amount of meaning in Aboriginal art, isn't there?
Yeah, I feel as though if you really want to make the artwork connect with people, you have to have a good storyline behind it.
Yeah, awesome. Now, speaking of storylines, I couldn't stop looking at this one when I
Yeah.
first walked in here. This is a beautiful piece. Is this one of your favourites?
This is definitely my favourite one.
Wow. And what's this one all about? What does it represent?
So this artwork is of me and my dad. It's to represent fatherhood, as he's been a really big role model in my life and taught me so much. So in the artwork, that's obviously my dad holding a spear, meant to represent like him teaching me how to hunt, teaching me how to survive, just like in how real life he teaches me to push for my own goals and accomplish them. So, so these are meant to represent the land, the red land, and the white as the sky, and then looking over us is the sunset.
Billy, that's incredible.
Thank you.
That is incredible. I can only imagine how proud your dad must be that you've dedicated this piece to him.
Yeah.
And represented through your artwork how much he means to you and how much he's done for you and still does, obviously, in your life.
Yeah.
That's incredible, kids. I'm absolutely blown away. This is a beautiful piece. Now, Billy, how long does it take to do this kind of stuff? Like, do you spend, is this a 10-minute job? Is this a 10-week job? What are we talking here?
So some artworks, the smaller ones, like the West Tigers one, that will take somewhere between maybe an hour to 2 hours.
Yep.
Something bigger like this one took me about 10 hours to do.
Wow. So, Billy, I've noticed you've got a couple of bigger pieces here. Can you talk me through these ones? Are they finished?
No, they're not finished. You have to come back and see them once I'm done.
Absolutely.
But these ones are currently working on. So this one is of a mother whale and she's pregnant with her baby.
Right.
So the whale, or the humpback whale, is the totem of this area, being the eastern suburbs area.
A totem?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of areas, different tribes have their own totems, which are different animals, or even some places have their own plant totems. So, so each different tribe, I guess, will have either one or multiple different animals that are connected with their own place.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So the whale, the humpback whale, is one of this area, and currently I'm doing an artwork about it. It'll have a few meeting circles around the place. So I've done the water, and these are all meant to just represent life in the water, because obviously the ocean is like abundant with life, and especially before colonisation of Australia, it would be just everywhere. So yeah, so that's all meant to represent life, and then I'm going to paint this a nice reddy brown to represent the land. And with the meeting circles, I reckon it'll come together really nicely.
I certainly think it will. Billy, do you reckon that Ozzie can do a bit of artwork with you? Or do you reckon maybe you could just show me something and maybe teach me a few little
Most definitely.
techniques and
Yeah,
tips?
I'm very excited to do one with you.
Awesome. All right, should we get started?
Yep, sweet.
Let's do it. Okay, kids, now this is going to be very, very special. I'm very excited because Billy is actually going to create a custom piece of artwork with Ozzie right now.
Yep.
So when you're starting an artwork, a blank canvas, it looks pretty daunting.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you start?
So normally things just come to mind, I guess.
Right.
I just start and then it just flows, and I just keep going until I'm done.
Wow.
But normally if I have a client, they'll have some sort of an idea of what they want.
Right.
And today you're my client.
Hey.
So I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yep.
First off, do you have a favourite animal?
I have lots of favourite animals,
Yeah.
but I do like snakes.
You do like snakes?
I like snakes.
All right, perfect. So we could start off with a snake. So normally just go ahead, start off with pencil, and then further along we'll make it a bit darker, maybe go over with some textures or things like that.
Okay. So what kind of snake are you going to draw?
So a big thing in Aboriginal culture is the Rainbow Serpent, which is, I guess you could say, sort of like a being from the Dreamtime, which the Rainbow Serpent, we believe, created all that is today.
Right.
Sort of like a huge creature or being that is a massive part of Aboriginal culture.
Yeah, awesome.
The Rainbow Serpent is, I guess you could say, a mythical creature which would slither through the landscape and create it to how it is today.
Yeah, right.
It would slide across the barren landscape which it was during the Dreamtime and create mountains, rivers,
Wow.
forests, everything what you know like Australia is like today.
It was all created by the Rainbow Serpent.
Yeah, so
That's
the Rainbow
amazing.
Serpent was around during the Dreamtime era, which Aboriginal people believe was sort of like before man, or at least before what man is like today.
Wow.
There was heaps of mythical creatures, a lot of spirits around, sort of things like that, and the Rainbow Serpent was definitely one of the biggest, I guess you could say, spiritual creatures of that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. Well, I'm glad I chose a snake.
Yeah.
A very, very important mythical creature for the centerpiece of our artwork.
Yeah. You've seen a few documentaries or something of snakes, right?
Yeah.
Do they normally feed during the day or the night?
That's a good question. Kids, can you help me out? They feed in the night time, don't they?
Yep, definitely. So this snake will be coming out at night time. So might as well put a moon and some stars in here
Perfect.
to go with it.
Okay.
So we'll grab a paintbrush. I normally grab a paintbrush but use the wrong end. for
Right.
it.
So that's how you get the dots.
Yeah.
That's
so,
cool. So you're not going to draw this, you're just going to start painting.
Yeah. I mean,
Right. And you can do that because you have years of experience, 5
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
and you've done it a few times before, and you've had a bit of practice.
Yeah, so I normally use different sizes, as everyone has, like every paintbrush has a different size of the back of it.
Right.
So start off with the moon. Moon is we'll just have big dot there, big dot in the middle.
Okay.
And then,
How can I help? Do you want me to hold that?
yeah, if you
Yes.
can,
I feel like I'm being useful here, Billy.
I'll show you,
I feel
I'll
like
show
I'm
you what
contributing to this artwork.
I'll show you what to do for this next one.
Okay.
So what I do is you get a bit of paint, and then each one you got to go dot, paint, dot, paint.
Wow. So that's why it takes so long.
Yeah, and then sometimes if you get enough you can do 2.
Yeah, okay.
So for the next one, for the next like round, I'll get you, if you can.
You gonna let me have a turn?
Yeah. Keep
Hey,
going
this
around
is
with that.
exciting. With
Yeah,
The
with
big one?
back of, yeah, we'll go the big one and then we'll go small one, big one, small one.
okay.
And we'll do that for the moon. And while you're doing the moon, I'll go and do some stars around the Rainbow Serpent.
Okay. This is cool. So Billy, can anyone do and create Aboriginal art?
For kids, definitely. I definitely encourage them to do their do Aboriginal art because it is such a big part of our culture, and just I really encourage people to embrace it most definitely.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever tried Aboriginal art, and I have to say I'm pretty privileged and honoured to be doing it next to you, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely how could you say, like, it's definitely like sort of calming, as you just go into some sort of a trance and you just don't even know you're painting, but it definitely I feel as though it really calms me down, makes me go in sort of a headspace which is nice. Makes me feel good.
Bit like meditation.
Yeah.
Bit of a
That's good.
meditative state.
Yeah. So I'll go around with small dots.
So while you're doing that, because
That
you
was
do
really
it
good
so
too.
much quicker than me, but how do you think I've gone there?
Definitely done very well.
Oh, good.
This will come out good.
That's good.
So we'll do.
I wasn't quite sure about my spacing of those dots.
No, they look really good. That's actually very good.
That's great.
So we'll go around and then I'll do this and then we'll go one more with big dots around.
Around that ring that you're doing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll put a few more stars in.
Cool.
All right. if you want to
Back to
continue
me.
with that.
What about colours? Talk to me about colour. I've seen a lot of earthy browns and reds and blacks used in Aboriginal artwork, but I noticed, you know, some of your pieces like the whales that you're doing, they're really popping bright colours.
Yeah, so traditionally a lot of them yellows, reds, browns and whites were used from like earthy materials Aboriginal people would get from whatever area they're from. Especially ochre is a massive one in Aboriginal culture. Or people would get painted up for ceremonies and stuff like that.
They use the ochre.
Yeah, so that one's the white. But yeah, as we've moved forward in art, especially more into modern times and art like mine, which is sometimes I might go to the more traditional side, sometimes I might go more contemporary.
Right.
So I might use a bit more bright popping colours, especially with things like if I'm going to do a whale totem art, I won't really use too much red or something,
right?
Because that's more land stuff. So I'll go to the water.
Yeah.
So I'll use things like blues, or in some of my other artworks, I've used like purples, greens, some things like that. Just to
cool. So there's no restrictions really.
Yeah,
it's just whatever
not
you
really.
feel is going to complement the artwork that you're doing, the piece that you're doing.
Yeah, definitely,
cool.
definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what about for us? Are we gonna? What's next?
So the Rainbow Serpent can't really be out in his own. Surely there'd be a few more animals out. So why don't we put in some kangaroo tracks, maybe some emu tracks, if you want to do that.
Sounds good to me.
Yep,
I did
sweet.
like the kangaroos and the emus that you
sweet.
had on the jersey over there. So
Sweet.
how do we do those?
So I'll grab one of these and then just place that there. And so what we do with this is pretty straightforward. So this is a kangaroo track. So the two on the outside, like what I said before.
Yeah, okay.
They're the footprints, and then the lines are meant to represent it moving forward.
Right.
Yeah. So you just keep going like that forward, and you can make it veering off. You make it going somewhere else.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if you want to, you can do the emu ones. You can do it wherever you like.
Okay.
You know how to do the emu ones, right?
You might have to just remind me how to do the emu
Yeah,
ones. There,
sweet.
please, Billy.
So we'll start it on the bottom here. We'll get it moving. So it's pretty straightforward. Bang, down, down. And then since it's stepping side to side.
Right. Just like human footprints.
Yeah. So if you want to do that.
Cool.
There you go. Sweet.
Sounds good.
So you can do that. And while you're doing that, you mentioned colours before.
Yes.
So I might put a few colours into the Rainbow Serpent.
Sounds perfect.
Make it pop a bit more.
Awesome. So Billy,
Yep.
just while we're creating some art here, I've seen some of your pieces and they are very impressive. You've designed a couple of jerseys already.
Yep.
You're moving very quickly on the art scene.
Yeah.
What's next for you and what does the future hold? Because it appears that it's pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, so I guess sort of my goals with art would obviously to be keep on doing them for a very long time. I want to do more art for companies. I love doing it for companies.
Yeah.
Getting my name out there is a big one. I definitely want to do that and become a bit more successful. Definitely getting my name out there. I've started my own Instagram page actually, where I post a few of my artworks.
Cool.
And people get in contact with me through there.
And what's that?
So that would be my name, Billy Reynolds, and then art at the end. So Billy Reynolds Art.
Perfect.
So people get in contact with me through there. So yeah, I definitely want to do more artworks for companies.
Yeah.
I want to do more artworks for people at home. I'm about to start another new one for a client. She wants one in her house. Yeah, definitely just keep on going, get things bigger and bigger. Hopefully one day, this is my biggest goal, to get my artwork on a plane one day.
On an aeroplane.
Yeah, that would definitely, that's a big goal. I'm punching a bit there, but like,
You got to set your sights on big goals, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You just got to keep working towards them. I know that you've got an artwork in an airline, not on an airplane just yet, but you're taking one step closer to that goal. So
yeah, definitely.
who knows? It might actually come sooner than you think, Billy.
Yeah, I hope so.
Mate, it's certainly coming along.
Thank you.
Probably needs a little bit more work, and I'm going to leave that to you.
Yep,
You're the
sweet.
professional, but thank you so much for including me on this artwork.
All good.
Thank you so much for letting me come along to your house, your studio, teaching me all about Aboriginal artwork.
Thank you for coming.
I think you've inspired me to learn a bit more about it. Hopefully you've inspired the kids to learn a bit more and maybe even try some themselves.
Yeah.
Kids, hope you've loved today. It's been an absolute honour to be here. We'll see you on the next video, and until then, stay keen. G'day kids, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out. Until then, enjoy this one.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we're going to read a famous book, an Aboriginal Australian Dreamtime story, and it's called The Rainbow Serpent by Dick Ruffsey. Far off in Dreamtime there were only people, no animals or birds, no trees or bushes, no hills or mountains. The country was all flat. Guriala, the great rainbow serpent, stirred and set off to look for his own tribe. He travelled across Australia from south to north. He reached Cape York, where he stopped and made a big red mountain called Narrabulgun. He listened on the wind and heard only voices speaking strange languages. This is not my country. The people here speak a different tongue. I must look further for my own people. Guriala left Narrabulgun, and his huge body made a deep gorge where he came down. He travelled north, stopping every evening to listen on the wind for his own people. He travelled for many days, and his tracks made the creeks and the rivers as he journeyed north. Travelling north from Narrabulgun, Guriala made two more mountains. One of them, Narradunga, was long and made of granite. The other, which had sharp peaks and 5 caves, was called Gormungan. His next resting place was at Fairview, where he made a lily lagoon called Minalinka. Guriala turned his great body round and round, but the ground was too hard to make it deep. One day he heard singing on the wind. He heard, ah. Those are my people singing, said Guriala. They are holding a big bora. He travelled north with the singing coming louder and louder. At the meeting place of the two rivers, Guriala found his own people. They were dancing and singing. He crawled up quietly and lay in hiding to watch them. He watched for a long time. Then he came out and was welcomed by his people. He told them, "You men are not dancing properly, and you are not dressed properly. Watch me and I will show you the correct way." Guriala showed the men how to fit a lump of beeswax on the back of their heads and use feathers to to make a raid headdress, like these ones. He dressed them with pandanus armbands and placed white bones through their noses. Then he taught them to dance, and they copied him until they were tired. A big storm was gathering, so all the people built humpies for shelter. Two young men, the Bilbil or Rainbow Lorikeet brothers, came running in looking for shelter, but no one had room. They asked their grandmother, the Star Woman, but she said, "I have too many dogs. I can't help you boys." The Bilbil boys went to Guriala and found him snoring in his humpy. When the boys called out, he yawned and said, "I have no room for you." The rain came heavier and the boys ran all about the camp looking for shelter, but no one would help them. The boys went back to Guriala and called out that the rain was heavy. Guriala said, "All right, you wait. I will make my humpy bigger." He opened his mouth wide, right up to the roof, and said, "All right, you can come in now." The Bilbil brothers ran into Guriala's mouth and he swallowed them. Then he began worrying about what his people would do when they found the boys were missing. He decided to travel north to Borobanuru, the only great natural mountain in the land. Next morning, the people asked each other who had given shelter to the Bilbil boys. They found the boys were gone and saw the tracks of Guriala and knew he had swallowed them. The men took spears and followed after Guriala. Guriala travelled towards distant Borobanuru, the mighty mountain which towered far up into the sky. When he reached the cliffs around its base, Guriala crawled up them. He coiled up for a sleep with the Bilbil boys inside him. The people followed Guriala to the steep base of Borobanuru. The men tried to climb the cliffs. Emu, turkey, brolga, tortoise, possum, barramundi, they all tried but kept falling down again. Two Wangu or tree goanna brothers came along. Guranji, the emu, said to them, "We cannot climb this steep mountain." The Wangu said, "We will climb up to rescue the Bilbil boys." They each made a knife from quartz and began to climb the mountain. The Wangu brothers climbed for days and nights, and on reaching the top found Guriala fast asleep and snoring. They crept up to him, and the older brother said, "We will cut him open. You start down there, and I will start here." They cut until they reached the Bilbil boys, who had changed into beautiful parrots with all the colours of the Rainbow Serpent. The Wangu said, "You can come out. You are now Rainbow Lorikeets with wings, and you can fly away." The Bilbil birds flew away. Look, there they are there. The Wangu brothers ran down the mountain. Guriala snored on until a cold wind blew through his empty stomach and woke him. He said, "Something is wrong with me," and looked about and saw where he had been cut and his dinner stolen. Guriala became angry and worked himself into a great rage. He began to thresh about in fury, his long red tongue flashing like lightning, and the great mountain shook and thundered as Guriala tore it apart in his anger. He hurled parts of the mountain all over the country to form the hills and mountains of today. All the people were terrified of the thunder on the mountain as Guriala knocked it to pieces. Some of them were killed by flying stones, others ran away to hide, turning themselves into all the kinds of animals, birds, insects, and plant life that live in the country today. That is how it all happened back in Dreamtime. When Guriala's anger was spent, there was only a small hill remaining of the great mountain Borobanuru. He went down and disappeared into the sea, where he remains to this day. Now the remaining people have to look after all the animals, all the living things which were men and women in the beginning, but were too afraid of old Guriala to remain as people. The shooting star racing across the sky at night is the eye of Guriala, watching everybody. There you go, kids. What an amazing book about the Dreamtime and the role that the Rainbow Serpent, Guriala, played in creating the mountains and the rivers and the animals. Hope you've learnt lots, kids. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll hope to see you on our next story time with Ozzie. Until then, stay keen. Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Ozzie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Ozzie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of